Napabaywa na tawag o naka-reside. Okay, if none, kindly check if you are seeing my screen presentation. Kindly feedback me if there's already in your screen. Nga ba? Okay. Once again, I'm Vitalian Christopher Naponi. Uh, uh, I'm your instructor in this subject, Life and Works of Rizal, section P1. And as you may know, uh, I have also my colleagues, my other teachers who are handling also the subject. I need to introduce them to you, or you might wonder that some of the video lectures are also made by them. No, some also of the questions crafted, and even the design of this subject. So it's a collaborative effort of these instructors. So we have Sir Ronald Sarsaba, and then we have Sir Nori Maglente, and then yours truly, and then we have Ma'am Lisa Villahermosa, and also Sir Adam Joe Mendez. And this juncture will uh, discuss the syllabus. And before this, let me emphasize this one, that our classes most of the time, or perhaps after this one, will be asynchronous. So with the prefix so synchronous, one syn, chronos, time, one time. So like this, we are in synchronous, we have in the same time. But when we say asynchronous with the prefix a, which means a negation or something, nothing. So most of the time, our classes will be asynchronous. It will be best for us, or both of us, with the teachers and also with the students, uh, to save a lot of time and effort. I know that we're struggling. There are uh, somehow negative things, or somehow downside of this pandemic and this new normal, but we also look at the beauty of this, the light side, the positive thing. Like in our asynchronous classes, for example, in the LMS, everything is already there. So if you have visited your Moodle, everything from the quizzes, activities, lessons, video lectures are all available already in the LMS. So it will be the same, man. For example, like now, we are having a Google Meet. It will be the same if we just record our discussion. We teachers will record our discussion and then we post that. So it will save us a lot of time. So no more late. Hindi na tayo mga late. Hindi na tayo mag-plete, no? Or also, hindi na tayo maato sa eskwelahan or for this Google Meet. Hindi na tayo taranta-taranta. Or when you look at the video lectures uploaded, you can replay it again and again if there are things that is not clear to you. And we'll only have perhaps the Gmeet if ever there are questions you will ask that are not uh, addressed or not discussed in the LMS, those lectures that are uploaded in the LMS. So just my point is that this will be most likely a synchronous class, and this Google Meet might be our only synchronous class, but still just keep in touch on your messenger or uh, announcements or update. So now we go to the syllabus. And important, the syllabus is also available in the LMS, so you may download this. But we need to discuss this one. I don't know. We teachers are really obliged to discuss the syllabus It's part of our, even part of our clearance. It's asked there, have you discussed the syllabus? So the important thing here is the grading system. So we have 50, 25, 25. Kindly respond if you are seeing my presentation, just to check. Can someone respond? Okay, thank you. For those who have a small screen in your phone, you can, I think you can zoom it. Okay, the 50% is in the term examinations, the midterm, and then the finals. And then we have the performance tasks and the class standing. It is comprised of the activities, assignments, quizzes, and so 25, 25. But mainly, greater weight is given to the uh, term exams, midterm, and finals, which will be announced. I think it will be announced university wide now, the schedule of the entire midterm. And then in terms of grade, so we have flat one, and then the lowest is three. You're familiar with this already. And then we have five failed, and then INC, and then drop. Excuse. If you have heard about me, you might heard that I'm. They say that I I I'm generous to give flat one, and I might say yes, it's possible for me to give flat one, but at the same time, as a balance, my philosophy is the golden mean of Aristotle, the golden balance. I also give three, or I also drop people. I also give five. So my point here is it depends into your performance because it's your grade, man. But one thing that I will assure to you that I, as a teacher, your instructor, it's possible for me to give one. For I understand that there are teachers, I don't know if in their standard, it's hard for them to give flat one. No? Some of kaging po ko estudyante, there are teachers nga, even we give all our best, pero di kita maka-flat one. I don't know the reasons, perhaps their standards or others say that kasing wa ko na sila ka-flat one sa una. But just I'm assuring you, if you only give your best, it will be easy for you to have this because the principle is that's yours, man. So di man ako na damot. And I also understand the students. But again, the counterbalance to that is it still depends on your performance and the quizzes and the exams. So maklaro man to dito. So that's it. And then everything is already there in the LMS. And then another part here in the syllabus is the textbook and references that we are using. So if where's the book? If you have watched the, if you have downloaded the this syllabus, so you can have this textbook. But mainly, uh, there are many books available in your library, no? So kindly visit the library. But our main text is from this book by Sonia and Gregorio Zaide. But the list of other additional references is listed here. So from Constantino, Cummins, Garcia, Palafox, Pasig, Torino, Schumacher, Vergara, Zaide, and other things. So my point here is that uh, in this time of many sources, many knowledge available to us, of course, you all have the freedom to go for further readings. You may do this one. We teachers consider you students as also co-experts with us. So it's no longer about spoon feeding, and even I can attest that some of students are more gifted or more talented or more advanced than the teachers, and you students as well. We teachers are also co-learners with you students, so we also there are things that we need to learn more. But here again, my point here is on the proper authority. No? Kadaghan naman kay, is the explosion of ideas and knowledge. But here, we do the proper authority. And it's listed here, ang among ginagamit. And, and also, I'm emphasizing this because of this uh, generation. Also man sa ato, ano, we always hear na ibang mga fake news or unsa ba na the proper authority. So the the balance is that uh, we look at this proper authority, but at the same time we also be critical in us students. Not everything is owned by us, or can also have blunders or loopholes, or sometimes things that we mislook. So that's it. At the same time, we are also thankful that we have these proper authorities, uh, will guide us. And uh, on, for example, in basketball, diba? If you or other sports, there's always the proper authority in order to solve everything. Okay, if you just let one player or one team to another to decide, so kaya mo kat din ano, one player was saying the other team is the foul, then the other also says otherwise. So di na mahuman ang dua. But when there's a referee or there's also handbook, or sometimes also moto the balance is the balance. Sometimes also the referee might be mistaken. So we need, for example, in NBA, they look at the entire video. So the balance is the point. But here, we also emphasize on the proper authority. Or if it's like statistics, so there's a greater accuracy, man. It's their expertise. So they spend most of their life studying this matter. And so that's it. And again, the balance that we don't necessarily dismiss, we don't degrade other people, uh, for they might also have their point. People who are not experts, they may also have a point. Another point here is that in terms of the social media, no, ato mga fake news, di ba? We always hear mga trending topics sa TikTok, universities, and YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, something like that. My take into this topic is that those social media platform are just tools. No, that's why they call media. They are medium. They mediate. They are instruments. They are tools. They're just like bridges to us. So it's like a knife. The knife can be used for hurting, but the knife also can be used for helping you cooking food or doing your things, cutting. So the same with this media platform. Kay they are kuan man lang sa instruments. So if ever this mga PhD people or mga teachers, they use the media well, then the media will be good. And mabuto, we don't downplay or we don't dismiss the people. For example, ordinary people, but we can be practical as well nga. Anyone can upload in this media magid pod. That's why we need to be careful. There's a danger into that. Okay, even a grade 1 student or a tambay can post in the social media. So again, balance. We don't disrespect them, but just be careful. And I'm not saying also that we are encouraging uh, those media, but here we also have books. Ang kami kita sa mga journals, scholarly journals, books, or other networks is that they have proper editors. They have a lot of editor in chief. So it goes a lot of process before it will be published, no? But again, talking ibalik-balik man, no? I will keep on repeating this just to emphasize my point. Yeah. So this proper authority, they have somehow the accuracy, and though we don't downplay the media or the people, but still we look at the entire picture. I'm emphasizing this because, for example, in our LMS, we're also posting our ideas in the media platform. For example, in this, uh, if you click this URL here, uh, excuse. it will lead you to the YouTube videos because, as I've said, that we are asynchronous. So our discussions, we record it to the video and we upload it to the YouTube, and then we get the link and then post the link into your LMS. For if we directly upload the videos to the LMS, bugat man kay siya. So we upload it first. So just like this, since we're using the YouTube, kung ato tong downgrade diretso tanan all media platform. So are we also part of the YouTube universities, TikTok universities? So just my point is that they are just tools. There are great other universities also doing this one, uploading. So it depends on the proper authority. But again mo to, ang balik, caution lang kay kasing ang napuday sa YouTube videos yung gitanaw is not the proper authority. But rest assured, everything that we teach here are coming from the book. If there are mistakes, then also that is part of the development, no. And we check and balance from time to time. So I hope you get my point in terms of this proper authority and the social media topic, which is very common and trending issues nowadays, especially in our generation. And I hope you get my point. And then, uh, so, yes, so motto, again, the balance is looking at the wider picture, no, the entire picture. If you're familiar with the story of the elephant and the blind men, six blind men, to naglali sila kay ang sa kabutaning hikap sa daunggan, lagi daunggan of the elephant and saying it's a fan or paypay. Ang sa hikap sa tiil, saying it's a tree or it's a pillar. One blind man looking at the uh, touching the body of the elephant, saying it's a wall. One holding the tail of the elephant, saying it's a rope. One holding the tusk, or ganun sa bukog ba na siya, saying it's a spear. One holding the trump, it's like the trumpet, saying it's a snake. Nilali sila, it's a fan, it's a snake, it's a spear, it's a wall. But when you look at the wider picture, or those people in authority who are far looking the wider picture, then you can realize that actually it's an elephant. But then again, caution ako lang ginabalik-balik ni kay, it's very crucial. We don't necessarily disrespect according to your lolo and lola. They may have a point also, but we also look at the brighter picture, and might be there are things in the experts or from the brighter picture which is not seen, and only the few perspectives of some conscious just to complete the narratives. So again, that's my point. And also, if you're familiar, uh, the you're familiar the famous anime Naruto, and now it has a son Boruto, no. Some of the fan base of Naruto is uh, having negative thoughts on Boruto. Uh, di na siya motanaw. He doesn't know what happened before, and mutang mag-react ta. Way klaro ni siya. Many hate thoughts is given to Boruto. Okay, just the point is that he does not look at the entire picture, but also the golden balance, the balance of that. We don't also dismiss the sentiments of Boruto. Boruto representing us, the right, younger generations. We also have valid sentiments why we're feeling that way, why we're saying that. So again and again, I keep on repeating this just to emphasize my point. My point is that we look at the wider picture, the entire picture of everything. Hopefully, and sometimes we cannot have those wider picture, but at least we're do trying to do it. So that's it in the authority. And then part of the syllabus is the mga topics, the content topics here. Everything here in the content topics, I again repeat, it's already available in the LMS. So we'll just run through them. We have here the orientation, uh, it's already done. There's a university-wide orientation and college and department, and you can also look at here. Then we have diagnostic tests. I already announced this in our GC, so don't you worry if you're not familiar with the topics, because that's the nature of diagnostic tests or preliminary tests or pre-test. It measures your stock knowledge or the how advanced are you, or sana ba perfect na tayo ninyong diagnostic test, then why not bother to study more, or we can advance, we can update our topics kay basic ng desenyo. But anyway, so that's the nature of diagnostic test. You don't need to worry kung gagman yung score. Then we have the introduction, then RA 1425. So part of your credit recitation guide na no, why we need to study, what's the connection. So actually, whether we like it or not, we need to study this because it's part of the law. There's a Republic Act 1425 obliging us to study the life of Rizal. But hopefully, we will not settle for this that study because we're obliged, but we in the end, hopefully, we will see the value, the essence, the connection of this knowledge to our college life or to your course or to your life in general. So there are mga beautiful things you have mentioned naman kay na. And it's a process man. Hopefully, to those who have not yet seen, at the end of this course, you will see the connection or the value of this teaching in the life of the Rizal. And not just being obliged, but really seeing the value. So we have the basis of Rizal law, and we will also look at the Philippines in the 19th century, social, political, and then the economic development in the 19th century Philippines. We'll have the rise of nationalism. And then as you may notice also the activity, there's activity every lesson. You don't need to overdo this one. You have, there are questions in the group chat where to submit. As you see this one, after this blue lesson one activity, there's a red item. So you may submit here. I will put here, submit here. Uh, you don't need to overdo sa this activity. Mga simple questions naman na siya. No? It's like if we're having a face-to-face class, di ba, part of the classes is naman siya, question and answer, mga tanong ang teacher sa inyo or something like that, just the normal facing of the discussion. So, more po na siya. It will also serve as your attendance. So, you submit here. And if ever there are activities nga instructing you to make graphs or something like that, no, you don't need to put graphs na kay I don't more di mamambutan diri, just the words that what that is being asked from you. So, mo na siya. You can submit your activity, and then actually you can even finish this one for one day. That's the beauty of asynchronous class. Finish everything in 1 week or 1 month. So depending how fast are you, or you can also forgo this. You may start next week na lang or next month, as long as you do the things that, especially there are due dates here. But I will say now that these activities has no due dates, only the quizzes and the midterms that I will post. But here, some activities, you can finish them just for one day or this week or this month. It's up to you. Basta lang pag exam, I hope that you have good grasp of the lesson, and you have watched the lecture videos. If ever there's no lecture videos or there's a command for the lesson, there's either the PDF or the PowerPoint presentation. So, um, Philippine in the 19th century, rise of nationalism. So we have the Rizal and his family, Rizal's family and ancestry, family tree. So we have here cha- childhood of Rizal, and then Rizal's education from Calamba to Binyan, excuse, his early education, and then from Ateneo to USD, his higher education. So Everything is here, including the videos. Then Rizal as a lover. As you know, Rizal is also Casanova. And then we have here his life abroad and the exile in the Pitan, and then Rizal's trial and death, his arrest or his execution, and then the annotation of Antonio de Morgas Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. And then we have the midterm exams and results, nationalism, patriotism, and social views. Then we have results in the Liga Filipina and also the Katipunan. And we have the No Limit Tangere. And you're already familiar with this in your high school, and in which in your high school we read from word to word, the entire novel. Here more focus more on the background, the context of the book, the theme, the plot, the characters, the reasons, the dedication. For example, the El Posterismo, it is dedicated to the uh, three priests, Gumborza. Now we look at the context, the overview of the book, also the theme, the plot, and characters of the El Posterismo, then the selected essays of Rizal, then we have the love of country, letter to the young women of Malolos, and then the indolence of the Filipinos, and Rizal, the Philippine national symbol, and then we have the final examinations. So that's it. Uh, Kamoto no sa late kaabot kaya na-announce that most of the time or perhaps really the rest of the time it will be asynchronous. Everything's already here, but if you have questions you may message me, and if we will look at if we need to upload another topic or something just to address the question if ever a question is not already here. And if ever if you're taking the exam or example the activities or the quizzes, don't be afraid to ask if ever you have some problem or technical glitches. It will always be welcome, no, or you're always allowed. I encourage you to PM kay so that we will address that. So you don't need to worry for that. Just be honest of the real situation. Then wait for the time if open up, or sometimes for example in midterms or mga major exams, I I wait nga daghan ay maka-message para maisa ra kay lisod na po daghan man kay mag-message ano ka problem, so isahan ra nako later, so di kay maratol if ever your message dili then ma-view. But always I will always be considerate to you. So that's it. What are the things I have missed? Any question or clarification?